Welcome to our episode of Medspa with Sean Shapiro. I absolutely love you, Sean. I love MedShift and what you guys are doing over there. And this has blown me away. We are going to just focus in on what you're doing with this store, this online store, and it's blowing my mind. So I'm just going to shut up. I want you to go into why it's blown you away. And then we're also going to say what even brought you to this, because it's not just a store. It's a way of helping practices rock and roll, manage their cash flow. There's so much behind it. Get extraordinary pricing, but really learn business lessons on how to manage your inventory and things of that sort. So go for it, Sean. Tell me really from your perspective, what's excited you the most about the new MedShift store?
Well, thank you, first of all, Erika. It's great to see you again, and Happy New Year. And to all your listeners, Happy New Year. And I wish everyone a happy and healthy 2024. But what's really blown my mind is that I think MedShift, our new store, e-commerce, has really filled a gap for the practice to provide things to the consumer. So the MedShift store is a one-stop online marketplace for aesthetic supplies, top brands, device consumables, product bundles, multiple different services. And then we couple that with incredible advantages to that practice. So for example, we have a first of its kind loyalty program. So everything that you buy, you get valued points for that turned into dollars that are easily during checkout period. You can apply to any of your future purchases with there's savings there, and it never expires and it doesn't cost anything to enroll. And it's very simple and it's at your fingertips through the store. We also are a trusted manufacturer and supplier of these products. So what we do, and what's really exciting, is that through our 20 years plus experience in the industry, we go out and source great products. So for example, one of the products we sell is V-Scan ultrasound handheld device. This is an ultrasound device made by GE, the leaders in all ultrasound division, that people can use for what's really hot right now is an injection guiding. So we source this product out. We're the exclusive distributor at an aesthetic marketplace. We can pass on discounted savings, and we do a price match guarantee so that the customer can feel confident by going to the store.medshift that if they find a price better, we'll match it. So that's part of one of the key things about store.medshift.com is that we price match guarantee all of our products. We source great products, like I just mentioned, and we look for ways to bundle and service and use our buying power and our experience to pass on great savings. And so with that as well is we did another key feature that's on the store recently, that our upgrade that we're launching right now, is payment terms. We understand that practices and businesses are in a tough situation these days, and it's not always they have flux of money to spend all at once. So we've had different terms like Apple Pay, other ways to pay, but also we had to break it down in simple, easy installment payments so that these practices can control their cash flows and things of that nature and get into these procedures or products that they want. And so think of it, Erika, is like we're the Costco of aesthetic online shopping. We truly are a one-stop online marketplace to really be able to shop, really be a trusted manufacturer, source out these great products, ensure that you're getting a good price, ways to pay it. And again, like Amazon, that's what everybody buys now. I did my entire Christmas shopping on Amazon, basically, because I didn't have the time to go to the stores or wanted to deal with that. And that's what we really kind of created, that you can get great products on the store. And so that's what we're really excited about. And we wanted to make sure that your listeners hear all about it. And the last thing I will share with you is that we made it a shopping experience that's really easy, in the sense that if you're a injector, there's a whole section on injections. So you can get annulas, you can get threads that will be sourced at great prices. You can find some of our injector partners. We work with MERS. We're working with other injector partners. So again, what happens with the smaller customer or the customer out there, they have to be dedicated to one product to get the great save. So that buy a lot of that one product to get that tier or that loyalty to get discount. Because we're MedShift, we buy at bulk and we pass on that savings so they can get that savings right off the bat. And that's part of the thing. If you're a laser technician, you can go in there and find the latest in pain management things, a different type of things for pain management that we offer there. We source some really cool products called Target Cool. That's a handheld way to control pain or deliver different products in the skin. We don't want to be a skincare company, But we found a great partner that does private labeling for these practices and at a very inexpensive cost and create great products so they can brand themselves. One of the other really exciting things I will tell you, Erika, that we're launching really soon here is two of our new bundle and service products. First, we're going to have the first and only oral semaglutide dissolvable pill form product. So the rave of this new GLP-3 semaglutide, all of that, we have found a pharmacy that we're going to be working with that has the supplies to cover everyone because there's been a lot of shortages out there for their patients. But this is not in an injectable form. This is in an oral form, and it dissolves under the tongue. So it goes right into the bloodstream. So the drug works as effectively as an injectable, but not injected at a great cost. And we're bundling in marketing services as well as how to implement it, how to offer it, and so on and so forth. And the other great product that we found in the bundle is we work with a great injectable partner in MERS. And one of the hot products right now out there is doing these Brazilian butt lifts, the BBL non-surgical Brazilian butt lifts. So we're coming into summer season here. So the time to do this stuff is now to get that fuller look. And to do that, there's dilutions, there's how you inject it properly, the safety protocols on that. How do you market it? How do you pass on the pricing? Because it's more products. So again, the power of MedShift being able to source these products, put all that together in a package. We did. So we have a wonderful BBL package that offers not only product, offers different marketing components, also the video training component and hands-on training here at MedShift in Charlotte. So really excited about to be able to pass on these things and create different things for the end user in the practice to really maximize all these different products. So we're super, super excited about it.
I couldn't tell that you were excited. I was like, you don't need me here. A couple of things I want to reiterate here that are blowing my mind. And keep in mind, like my background, I was running a $94 million e-commerce business, but more in the physical therapy, occupational therapy world. And it was all cash pay. It wasn't anything that was covered by insurance. So when you're talking about the fact that people can come to you and just trust your pricing and just know it's the best pricing out there, you know the market, you're already negotiating these things. And also the thing that I love, and it's really hitting me hard, is that you're taking decision anxiety away from practice owners because you're saying, hey, if you're going to start a practice or if you're going to bring this into your practice, this is what you need right here. And you're going to get the best pricing and all this stuff and terms and everything else. So it's like you've thought ahead because I've been mentoring thousands of Medspa founders and owners and managers and marketers, right? And they're all saying, where do I even start? What do I buy? What's out there? Okay, now that I have all this, what else can I fold in that's going to be really lucrative for us? Or how do I get this moving? To hear that you have marketing programs, I would love to hear you go into that a little bit more. What do your marketing programs look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. And Erika, you had talked to me over the years and we discussed about operational efficiencies, right? And when a new med spa or a practice that's been around for a couple of years, how do they become more efficient and more profitable? And that really comes to the root of how we created this store and what we think here on MedShift. So one of the things that we do at the store is any product that you purchase, not only do we source the product and find good products and be able to pass on that through our store, we pre-negotiate with these companies that they're going to provide the same training or better training than they would have gotten if they bought it directly from them. So that's one of the key components that we can say is that, if you're going to buy this device, you're going to get the same training if you bought it directly from that rep, and you're going to get that same quality of that service. Then on top of that, at MedShift, we have an inside customer care team that's there to help through whether you want to talk directly with them or a chat feature because you're moving fast and want to do it on your mobile phone, but be able to answer the questions and guide them into where those different training resources are, or go directly to that manufacturer and be that advocate for that practice to find out what they may need or how they can get to that extra training or marketing or support in that regard. And then we've also built out a mega portal of content library of different things for them to be successful. And then, like I mentioned on the BBL package or the semaglutide package, we actually created specific materials for them to use in their practice to help market and talk to their customer and how to price it and things of that nature. All very important things from a marketing perspective. But we are definitely not a marketing firm. but we create these different pieces so that they're effective, as well as pre-negotiate with all of our products to ensure that they get the training and the marketing that they need to be successful with the product.
Great. So it's more about the articulations, making sure that they've got those down. They understand the benefits and all those good things. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. And then the other question I have, and maybe I shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm going to say it, is so there are many times that we've got home-based injectors, someone that's home-based that has all the credentials and they're licensed and everything, but how is that going to work if, let's say, they need drugs mailed to their home? What does that look like? How do they order drugs from you? And how do they also manage,
Great.
like, not having inventory sitting too long?
That's two great questions, and definitely a need out there. So there's definitely a need out there of many qualified, experienced, trained injectors that are licensed and everything that work from their home. Actually, my wife goes to an injector that works from her house. So first and foremost, they will have to fill. So for certain of our products, like the drug products or the injection products that are drug rated, they have to have a medical license number or they can't get the product. So they would have to fill out on our store their medical license number to get that. But because we're like a mechanic, so to speak, we can ship directly anywhere where maybe a manufacturer can't ship to a home address. So we can ship product, quality product through MedShift directly to a home injector, if that's the case, as long as they're a qualified medical licensed person or it has that medical licensed person.
So they just have to send you that license number.
Yeah,
Wow,
correct.
that gets rid of a huge. And what about logistics? So how do they know when to order? So especially drug inventory isn't sitting.
That's another great question. One of the things that we kind of pride ourselves on is that you don't need to buy in bulk with us. A good example is we have these things called the Tox Box kits or the injector packages. So what we did is we bought in bulk the cannulas, all the things you need, a 5-pack or a single pack or a 20-pack. So you might, as a startup business or a smaller injecting business, you're not going to go through 10,000 cannulas to get the discounted price that you really want. We break up those quantities in that regard. So as well as we work closely with MERS, we're working closely with other injectable companies and things of that nature that have their product, or skincare companies. We really try to limit the quantities that they could buy and still get the savings on buying 1 unit for having to buy 50 units and so on and so forth. So we do our best to make sure that we pass that on. Not always are we perfect and not always do we have the smallest quantities, but right now, if you went to the MedShift store, you will see that most quantities are within, onesies or fives, very small, very manageable monthly amounts.
And how quickly are you shipping?
Overnight.
Really?
Yeah.
Overnight.
So everything you'll see on our site that they can provide. So we work with FedEx, all the major companies. So FedEx, UPS and stuff. So one of the advantages of MedShift is we are a tech-based company. So we make sure that we find the lowest price of shipping out there. And then the customer, when they go on there, if they need product tomorrow, they can overnight it, making sure that we get it brought to the customer.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, those rate inspectors, oh my God, they are incredible. So you have that going. That's incredible. And overnight. So are you saying you process overnight or you actually ship overnight?
We can ship up as long as you get the order in during our cutoff times for those products, which are clearly listed on the site. We can get the product over there. We pre-negotiate with a lot of our manufacturers that are shipping, and they might have greater shipping capabilities. We pre-negotiate as soon as they click, it goes into their system and we can ship things overnight. We can
that's great.
they got it selected. Yeah.
So even if you're drop shipping from the manufacturer, you have that same arrangement with them?
Correct.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, that's great. And there are select products on your site that are exclusive to just MedShift, and that's it?
Yeah, there are a few, not all, but there are a few that we have negotiated that MedShift is the exclusive provider of this. And so, but that's not our philosophy or our goal. We really don't want to be exclusive. We want to just provide what's the best product for that practice and pass on our rates and our buying power and our experience for them. And so that's really how we kind of view things. We really look at various different categories within the practice. So for example, if I'm a laser technician, there's so many different eyewear protectors right out there. So we looked at them all, right? And how it's very hard for a small practice or small business to go figure out what's the best one. What's the one that gives the training? What's the one that's coated with that's really the safest one? It's a lot of work to figure that out. So our team does that. And then we select a company and we partner in them. And that's the one that we're offering. So we might offer one or two different options, but that's what we offer. And that's how we go to market with different things. Another great category, Erica, is you're hearing a lot in the industry about regenerative medicine, right? PRPs, exosomes, and things like that. And there's a lot of questions. And over the years that I've been in, I've heard so many different things. So at MedShift, we're actually looking at that category and we actually make offerings in that. And we've listened to a lot of the things and we've just like, okay, this makes sense. For example, we have a plant-based exosome. There's a lot of discussion is that there's human, a plant. The thing, an advantage of a plant-based is that it's shelf stable. It doesn't go bad, right? You don't have to have a freezer or something like that. Well, there's a lot of practice that's important to them, and things like that. So we have an offering of a plant. We're about to bring a human-based exmo that does need a freezing, and they might do more of that and they want the benefits of that. So we're looking into that to bring that. So that would be an example of how we approach the offerings that we look at and what we think about our customer. We want to ensure that the customer has an awesome experience and it knows that we're going to do the heavy lifting, the work to source those out. So when they're looking at the product and looking at that they're getting not only the savings, but they're getting our expertise and looking into the products and the partners that we have.
That's great. I love this because all of you you look like you're 20, Sean, but I know that all of you have been in the industry for decades, and it's almost like you can anticipate the needs. And that was my favorite part of the company I was running. When we made videos of the products, we knew that no one liked that the button had to use your index finger. People wanted to use their thumb on that. It was little things like that. And
Yeah.
you're doing the same thing. You're anticipating the need and being able to help them make that decision based on their preferences. So kudos to
Yeah.
you. I have another question. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this, but I'm curious if you're going to be selling any kind of like used laser equipment or things at a special discount or things of that nature. Is there any of that working into it?
Well, another part of, I'm not sure if your listeners know and everything, but one of a big part of our business is that we do financing of new equipment for the practice. And so that's really the story goes. Roughly, we've been around for 8 years and our main founder sold the business to Accenture and made a lot of money. And he was a tech guy. And then the other founders were a predominant couple, the Tillers in the aesthetic industry out of North Carolina. And one worked in the injectables and the other worked in device. And this is how the business all started was they saw a gap in the marketplace that practices wanted these devices, but couldn't get good financing. So Brian, our main owner, had bought some devices through the Tillers and found this gap that if they can buy devices, and he put on a little device on there that did a pavement facilitation or pay-per-click model. So like every time you use model, you pay for it, we get a little bit of money, they get a little bit of money. And that's what they set up. So they were the first ones to ever do this in this step with some devices. Now, from that, we've learned that by financing devices and being able to get devices financed for the startup business or the smaller business or the established business, making that ability to get access to equipment through financing is still a strong gap. There's a gap out there and the ability to get that. And so about 40% of our revenue comes from financing new equipment. We have relationships with multiple big providers like Cartessa, Luminous, Sinclair, BTL, MERS, Tronics, Revell, a lot of the funds. And we find the partners. And if your listeners want a new device, we can finance that device. So long-winded answers, we don't want to sell used equipment. We won't sell used equipment. So we don't sell used equipment directly at all. We only do new device and we do financing for new devices.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's good. All right. Wonderful. I think that sums it up. I know one thing I want to just urge everyone to go look at store.com. Believe me, I know e-commerce. I know stores, online stores. I know design, logic, and they just absolutely knocked it out of the park in every category that you would be measuring the build of a store. Kudos to you, Jen, whoever was involved with the planning and design and how you're organizing it all the offerings. It's just insane. So really good for you guys. I'm so happy. I'm so honored, Sean, to have this time with you. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Erika, and all the best to you and look forward to the future for everyone.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.